Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys yet again another Weiss Schwarz video. Today we're going to be going over 8 Pants Frieren, and I'm going to be going over the deck list that I took that got me X1 at last week's Weiss Schwarz locals at my card shop. I'm going to show you guys my deck list and my card choices. This deck is a ongoing project, and it's something that I've been enjoying playing. So I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Balls crack that like button, and let's proceed with the video. Before we begin, I wanted to thank you guys for checking out the last deck profile, which was the 8 standby quints, as well as I encourage you guys to watch the video where I kind of just discuss why I personally play multiple trading card games. I know it's a lengthy discussion and it's more like just me kind of rambling about why I play it, but it's something that I feel passionate about, as it's one of the reasons why I made this YouTube channel. So I hope you guys check those videos out. I'll leave them in the description below, as well as at the end cards. So we're gonna go over the deck list. So I am playing basically, essentially, like as I said in the intro, 8 Pants Frieren. So we're gonna go starting off with the level 0s. I play 4 copies of Eisen's Apprentice Stark. So I play this as my main red starter because it has the ability on play, put the top card of my deck into reveal the top card of my deck. If it's a character or an event, I can put it underneath as a marker, and it gains +2/5 and one level with the marker. So this is an instant 3/5 level 1 that my opponent has to find a way to answer it, and most of the times they're not equipped to answer a level 1 3/5 at level 0. So it's one of the reasons why I play the Stark, and it's free compression, because even if you reveal an event, that's one less event in the deck that you can potentially, if they do answer, put it into the waiting room in order to trigger certain, like in order to search it back with the Fern, or even set up for the free run finisher, since it requires 3 or more events with magic in its name in order to launch the climax combo. So I play 4 of this because it's just your generic plussing beat stick, and it's probably the better one. I know some builds play the Fern one, but I personally prefer the Stark. Next, we play 3 copies of the original Akatsuki Fern. So this one is actually, to be more accurate, it's more of a Fukajiro, but it's an on-play Fukajiro. So you on-play, discard a card, search up to the top 4 cards of your deck, and add a level 1 or higher card among them, and send the rest to the waiting room. So this allows you to search for the events or even your characters. So this is the reason why we play 3 instead of 4, is we're kind of tight in space. If I had my way, I'd play this as a 4 of, because it's just really good deck speed, because you're not going to always have the level 1 event that also mills 4, and you don't always want to brainstorm and spend stock, since you need 6 in order to launch triple of the level 3 free run. So we play this as a 3 of. Next, we play 3 copies of the series Ricky. So this is here just because this is a level 1 or lower Ricky searcher, so it allows us to search for our key pieces. Most of the time you're going to be searching either the brainstorm or the level 1 combo, or any key like pieces that you need that turn, but most of the time it's just an early game plussing. So that's one of the reasons why I play it at 3. I know in most games the strategy is to play it at 4, but because there's so many good cards in the set, we have to make concessions in order to make sure that we run those cards, because they're also valuable into the game plan. So I cut it down to 3. I know some builds cut this to 2, but I actually like it at 3 because you still want to be able to see it when you can get early game searches. Next, we play the most important level 0 in my opinion, the Fern Brainstorm. This is your salvage brainstorm, as well as it procs with your events. So every time you play an event, you get the top 2 check rearrange. So this helps you confirm cancels, as well as kind of manipulate damage when you play the event, as well as I've actually been using this also to confirm my draw, like not my draws, but my brainstorms, because I can check the top 2 during my turn when I play an event, and then eventually mill for, like, potentially see if I should brainstorm or not, or if I need to use an effect like Stark to even get me deeper into my deck in order to do a successful brainstorm. So this helps me determine what deck speed path I should be taking. And most of the time you're going to be playing either the torch event or the level down event during your turn. I've sometimes played the 1/1 salvage event, but in most cases, I think from my own personal experience, not that often. So this is just here because it's probably one of the best utility level 0s in this deck. Next, we're gonna play 2 copies of the Victory and Morning Frieren. So this Frieren's actually a really good backliner. So it has an effect on climax trigger. You can discard a climax, look at the top card of my deck, and either choose it to keep it at the top or put it at the bottom, then salvage a character. This pairs well with this Frieren, because this Frieren also triggers on climax when climax triggers. When you trigger climax, actually not this Frieren, but it gives all your this Frieren gives all your other characters the ability after this card's attacks. Oh no, it's even itself, including itself, but it has to attack first. But it does give the ability, so they both trigger on climax placement. I'm an on placement on climax trigger. So this one is the check top, put it to top or bottom and salvage. This one is pay 1 blind stock and then draw, discard 1. So this is here for just to clean out stock, and this is here to basically get information on to prep for the blind stock. So they pair well. So we play 2 copies of that, and we also play it for the act ability, which is tap itself, give a character plus 1k, which helps you kind of crash over lanes really easy. Next, I play 1 copy of the Unnecessary Spending Frieren. So this is just here because when you play on place, you can either discard a climax or an event to salvage a character. So this allows me to just sculpt my hand, and also just get rid of excess events or climaxes to get combo pieces that I need for that turn. And then lastly, I play 1 copy of the Climax Swap Frieren. I know this is also a bottom deck reverser, but since we're playing the Stark, we don't need to have this as an opener. We're using this as a climax swapper. And then onto the level 1s. So I play 4 copies of this Firm level 1. So it pretty much acts similar to Bell from Danmachi and Goblin Slayer from Goblin Slayer, as well as I think the Sachi from Grisaya, except on climax placement, you may salvage either the Flight Magic, which is the torch, or the magic for finding lost accessories, which is a 1/1 event that on play you can draw 1, discard 1, then salvage a character. So this essentially allows you to, they both can be played on defense. This allows you to thin your deck out for cancels, and this one allows you to salvage for combo pieces, as well as just get 1 card closer to potentially canceling. So overall, I like playing this combo because it just gives you so much deck speed and so much damage mitigation, and this allows you to have selective salvaging. So most of the time you don't need to brainstorm in order to get your pieces back into your hand. And in the unfortunate event that, let's say I do trigger a climax and I don't have this particular Frieren on board and it was the last attack, I can simply just play this event, pay out the climax, and then just draw one and then salvage a character. Draw one, ditch one, and then salvage a character, I mean. So this allows you basically a way to clean your stock this event, but also like just salvage key pieces. So I like it. Most of the time I've been playing this, the torch event, which is basically top 4 check. And most of the time I've been able, with careful, like just understanding my deck state, been able to mitigate quite a bit of damage at the in last week's tournament at my locals. I was able to just like predict. And this is fun. Like even most of my opponents, even when they cut my deck and shuffle and cut, I consider it kind of very lucky of me. But after I do the top 4 check, I usually cancel right after. So it's like either really good, I feel like it's a combination of really good deck reading for myself, understanding like based on the probability of what my current deck state, the likelihood of hitting a climax. But I'm not gonna say it's 100% because I do sometimes, actually pretty often, like it's about 50-50, or I would, if I had to, based on my tournament results, about 60% that it canceled, that I don't hit a climax. I would say like maybe even 55-45. It's like right around there, like 55 to 60% of the time I get the cancel and not hit a climax. Or in those situations I also may have hit a climax and still cancel, which is also, I consider that part of that kind of 55%. And then there are just times when it just didn't help. But overall, I like this event, the 8 event package. It's really helpful. So we'll move that aside. So I'll mention again, I play 2 copies of an older woman Frieren. So as I mentioned already, it pairs. You pair it with this backline in order to set up like basically clean stock, as well as being able to salvage and draw a card, which is just really nice. And I'm always trying to salvage this card because in most cases I'm trying to either do double or triple Fern. I'm either going to try to do triple Fern or double Fern and then double older woman free. Either I'm going to try to do triple Fern. Again, I'll just show it quickly. So like triple Fern, or the setup that I would try to always do is this setup. Just because being able to, like, if I know I'm going to trigger a climax, I'll have this set up. So just so that I can clean that climax as well as gain card advantage. But yeah, that Fern is just straight up bonkers. Like I actually like playing this combo, the Fern and the Frieren pair, because they just synergize so well. And then lastly, for my level 1s, I play the 1/1 Fern backup. I've actually got recommendation from a lot of people like Simu. I've seen it from on a couple deck profiles. I tested it and it actually helped me in very interesting situations. Like for example, when I went up against Macross Delta in England, the English Macross Delta, and they got themselves to Brainstorm down to 5 cards, I just hit this on a full board, denying them an additional like climax span on their level 1 that free plays a cost 0 from discard pile. So I would just play this on the first attack. They do get 1, but they don't get another one, and I just mill out their whole deck for get them to refresh. So that's free damage, as well as denying them the free fresh, as well, not technically denying them the free fresh, but in one game I did deny it the free fresh, and then another time, in like one turn I did, another turn they still refreshed, but they refreshed very poorly because they were able to, I was able to mill out a climax on one time in one instance. So I actually launched this quite a bit, and what I like about this card is it just puts them, like if they're trying to set up for like really good refreshes, just being able to just shotgun this when they attack and deny them a good refresh and also clean triggers. It is just really fun. And then moving on to the level 2s, I play one copy of the promo Frieren. I haven't yet gotten to a game where I needed to use the bounce, but I run it just in case I do encounter that matchup where I need to bounce a lane and just secure advantage. So I play it just in case. I tried to fit the Adachi, the level 2 Adachi, that bottom decks that also power pumps, but I'm having difficulty finding room as I wanted to play a few more tech pieces. And then I also play 2 copies of this level down event. This is just here for the event count as well as being able to answer standby, which is really nice. And then for the level 3s, I play one copy of the stock shuffle event. It also allows me to, I haven't yet launched it because most of the time my opponent is in a deck state where it's not really valuable to stock shuffle. But when I do, I know there are going to be games that it can be viable, so I like to have it just ready for those situations. And then I'm testing this level 3 in my deck because the early play condition is basically 6 or more event cards in waiting room. So there is a likelihood that I will get 6 or more events in waiting room, so I can get the early play condition. I haven't yet played the early play, so I might actually cut it, but it's a good early play heal that stock heals, and it's a hand-on core, so it allows me to stay at level 2 if I need to. But most of the time I don't mind getting punted to 3 because in most of my games I've been punting my opponent to level 3 right around either first or right around the same time they pump me, like on that same turn sequence that they'll pump me to level 3. So I really don't see the need to play it, but I'll do further testing and keep it in. And if this is not warranted, I will cut it and see what I can add instead, because I really do like the ability to heal down. And then lastly, for our level 3s, I play 4 copies of the favorite Magic Frieren. So this card, it pairs with the Hero Pants. So what she does is her requirement is 3 or more events with magic in their name in the waiting room. So I can choose to perform one of the following effects. The first one is the Mocha 2, which allows me, actually no, the first one is actually to mill 12 and gain 1500. The second effect is to Mocha 2, and then the last effect is, so if you don't know what a Mocha 2 is, basically I have to check the top 2 cards on my opponent's deck, choose one to put in the waiting room if I want to, and then leave the rest on the top. And then lastly, it's the last effect, which is discard 2, burn 3. So most of the time I usually pick either the mill 12 or the burn 3. This deck kind of reminds me a lot of Data Life because of the Frieren finisher. Frieren being such a modular finisher that requires you to understand your opponent's deck state, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this over the TD one, because the TD one is very simple. It does what it does, and it does it effectively. But I like to heal down. I like healing effects as well. I don't want to just leave myself up for a potential try to go all in and kill my opponent, and if they survive, not be able to heal down to kind of mitigate even my own risk is oddly not that desirable. And if I do have a full hand, which I usually do sometimes end up with 9 cards in hand, I can triple Frieren and just do discard 2, burn 3, which is I feel like a little bit better than discard 2, burn 4. Although it is more stock efficient in the Frieren list with the TD finisher. I like this because it allows me to rely on my opponent's deck state, and it's very modular. And most of the time, the mill 12 actually puts my opponent in a very awkward deck state. Like I've had games during my tournament where I was able to hit either 3 to 4, and I think in one testing 5 climaxes. That's quite a bit of climaxes, which if they're decently compressed, if I mill out most of it, that 3 is gonna stick. So like in some cases I'll mill 3, I'm at mill 12, burn 3, or mill 12 twice and then burn 3 on the last attack. And it usually closes the game out pretty well in my testing. Although I'm gonna say this has been my first time taking it to a competitive event, Frieren. So I'm still figuring out the proper sequencing and understanding like which scenarios work best for which effect. And this is one of the reasons why I like Frieren is this set kind of reminds me of, it's like a combination of Data Live, Don Machi, and Goblin Slayer. The Data Live because the Frieren finisher is just as modular as the Kurumi 3-2 from Data Live. Most of it is basically like Goblin Slayer and Don Machi, where it's very event focused. And I like that about this deck. It's consistent and it gets the job done. Some of the changes I am going to be thinking about moving forward, I'll probably mention it in a later deck profile because I'm still kind of looking over the cards, because I did get a playset of Frieren, so I'm going to be examining it and figuring out some possible text to look into. I will go into a deeper, like, I'll probably do a deck tech video on this just to describe, like, showcase like what are some of the cards I may consider moving forward, because this list is probably going to be one of the decks that I'm going to be playing in the 2025 to 2026 competitive scene for Weiss, and I'll do a video explaining that in the near future. So hope you guys like this video. I know this is a pretty lengthy one, but I just wanted to explain my own reasoning behind this deck, and it's a deck that I actually really enjoyed building and testing. At first I avoided this set when it came out in JP because one, I didn't watch Frieren and I didn't have any attachments to it, but after watching Frieren I actually wanted to see what the set has to offer, and just playing it in quite a few testing matches and even taking it to my locals for the first time, I actually really enjoy this list. And if you guys are considering building the deck, please subscribe, because I will be doing some videos where I'm going to be exploring this deck among the others. So that's just about it. I want to thank you guys again for sticking along with this video. I will be doing a video about my Weiss, what decks that I'm going to be playing in the competitive season. I know BCS is over, but I'm thinking about just moving forward in the summer of 2025 into 2026. I want to showcase what I think I'm going to be playing this upcoming season, both for Springfest and potentially the next BCS season if I do get to go. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Balls, crack that like button and subscribe. And stay on point, guys. I got you. You think I forgot about that?